Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Corson. I'm your host. I'm also the publisher and editor of Commercial Construction and Renovation magazine. Hope you all had a great weekend. Calling it still in the ATL. Fall weather, nice and chilly at night to walk the dogs, crisp in the morning. The leaves are turning. It's just beautiful down here in the South. Hope you all had a great weekend. The weather was beautiful here, but on the sports front, boy, was it ugly. The Atlanta Braves lost to the Dodgers, and they didn't get in the World Series. The Atlanta United lost. Georgia Tech got killed by Clemson. Just about every Atlanta team lost, except for the 0-5 Falcons, who fired their GM and their coach last week, and they finally beat the Minnesota Vikings. So we got one win. You know, I've been in Atlanta since '92. You know, and they've won two national championships. The Braves won one World Series, and we're in a bunch of the finals. Didn't get it done. And our lacrosse team, the Georgia Swarm, won a couple years back. Those are our two world championships. Other than that, they haven't gotten any other championships. They say the city's got a curse with their sports teams. But, you know, I knew it was ugly when, you know, the Braves went and Georgia Tech got killed. Bama beat the Dogs. And then, you know, last night the Braves lost again. And then, sure enough, the Falcons, the only team that won. Unbelievable. So, you know, maybe they'll make a run at it. You never know. But so starting the week off on a positive note, Falcons got that bagel off the scoreboard. They're 1-5. And just like anything else, have all next week. You know, hey, you can't win them all. You just got to keep on going. So tonight, we have a really great episode. One of my favorite amigos that I've known forever. And he's a jack of all trades. You know, he's in the hanger and display fixture side of things. He's also a chef. He's a grandfather. He's just an entrepreneur and a freaking funny guy. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Bert Spitz, president of Be Free Hanger and Display out on Long Island. Say hello to our listeners, Bert.
Hi, dudes. Hi, dudettes.
And by the way, Bert gave me my dudette pin, my label here, my badge. I've had it for God knows how long. So he has his dude thing on there, and I'm like, oh my God, I got it in my bag. I always bring it up when I was on the road. Before the pandemic, I would wear it at trade shows and stuff when I'm walking down. So I went and got it. So now we're dudettes tonight, okay?
Thanks for the memories.
Oh yeah. So Bert, actually, you got a really special, cool show tonight because normally we just talk and, you know, about stories and, but actually Bert is a chef. And after he tells us his story, we're going to go into his food laboratory and he's going to show us how to prepare a real Caesar salad. So you guys are in for a real treat. So with that said, Bert, you got to tell us your story, you know, where you grew up, where you went to high school, your family, grandkids, kids, whatever, how you got into what you're in and what you're doing now. So the floor is yours. Tell us the Bert Spitz saga.
Okay, folks. Well, here's the deal. Just to make it a little bit more exciting, I'm going to start off by letting you know that although I'm aware that hangers are not the most exciting thing in the world, the fact is, once I tell you this secret that nobody knows, you can't even find it on the computer, you're going to say, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. I'm going to listen a little bit more carefully. Are you ready? I want you to know that, you see this fellow right here? His name is Herbert Spitz. Herbert Spitz was my father, and Herbert Spitz created the world's first plastic hanger. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Now you know. Now it's more exciting. So here's the deal.
Woo!
From the very beginning, I was born in 1948 in Roslyn, New York. And when I was a little kid, I was traveling at the very young age of 4, 5, 6 years old back and forth to the East Coast and the West Coast because my family had a business in California called Henry Hanger. And as we would go back and forth, I would wind up, how can I say this? It's like a prelude to what's happening later. I would wind up eating in restaurants in California and eating in restaurants in New York, and only the best because my grandparents had money and they took us to places that most people don't eat. But the bottom line here is I grew up in Great Neck, New York, and my family's business was Henry Hanger in New York and Los Angeles. Let's see. I wound up going to school in Great Neck and going to college in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, surfed the whole state of Florida, had a great time down there. And when I came back in 1972 or 71, I wound up going to the hanger business in New York City's Garment Center. And while I was doing that, I was also going back and forth to California. And so what happened was I was learning things that they did in California, learning things they did in New York, and putting it all together. And one thing I learned more than anything was what's important in the world of hangers was visual display. How do you make garments look good? Since the hanger is obviously right smack dab in the middle of the neckline, and that's the first thing people see next to the garment. So what my parents did, my father did, and he created the world's first plastic hanger way back in the early 50s, was he wound up teaching me how to make clothes look good. And with that, he put me in charge of product development. So when I was, 48, 58, 68, when I was about 30 years old, I started creating all these different colors for Henry Hanger, and ambers and reds and blues and greens, whereas before the only hangers in the world were black rubber or wood or wire. So we really started something going on, and we wound up actually being the best that there was. There were other people in the hanger business, but really at that time there was no competition. For example, we would sell a broad shoulder display hanger to retail at $144 a dozen back in the 1970s. That's $12 a piece, and $12 a piece sounds expensive, but when you stop and think about what $12 a piece was back in 1972 and 73 and 74, it's much more than $12 in our dollars right now.
Sure.
Bottom line is we started creating all sorts of looks and different things that other people just didn't have. We were as unique as anybody could be. So I was with my family's business for about 30 years. And in the year 2000 or 2001, I had to leave my family's business. Won't get into why, I just had to do it. And I opened up Be Free Hangers. From there, it was partnering with people who could continue to do what I did for and with Henry Hanger. And it wound up being quite successful, if I don't say so myself. And some of the things and some of the hangers that we made were, well, I'll show you here. For example, we were a big hit with Mirage Resorts. We created hangers for all of their retail stores in their hotels. This one I love especially. Yellow Submarine, Beatles, and
I have the Beatles one. I have the Beatles one you sent me. So and some really nice wood hangers that my suits are hanging on. So I know that they're beautiful pieces of artwork. So
thank you, dude. They're going for big money on eBay right now.
Yeah.
But the fellow who was responsible for this was a guy by the name of Timothy. I won't use any last names. He was with Visual Display in Las Vegas, and he had to get permission from Paul McCartney to do this.
Nice.
And this. So beyond things like this, as I'm growing up and as I'm doing these things, I get married to my wife, Sandy, my wonderful wife, Sandy. And we have 2 children, Allison and Lindsay, back in the 1979, 1981, something like that. Offhand, yes, I think it's that. 79, 79, 81, 78, 80, whatever. Sorry, guys, I just don't remember offhand. I'm just so excited to be here, you know. So
Yeah, I hear you.
and then we watched the kids develop and they got married and had their kids, and I've got 5 grandkids, Emma and Benji and Dan Dude. His real name is Dan Dude. On his birth certificate it says Dan Dude Diane. And let's see, you've got Julia, and the last one, the youngest one, 3 years old, Remy. Couldn't be happier. The most important thing in the world. Why are we put here? You know what I mean? Why we're put here to reproduce and have families and make a life for yourself. And at the same time, you're here also to eat good. Let's see. I think that's about it for me. I don't want to bore you too much, but the bottom line here is now we're kind of like, it's in the middle of this virus, and it's the kind of thing where kind of we don't know what direction we're going. We're all affected. We all have lost a lot of business, and a lot of people have retired as a result. I'm not ready to retire. Fortunately, I have partners that have a lot of faith in me, and we work together, and we still do what we do, and that is fulfilling, to say the least, especially at 72 years old. So that's about it, David. Is there any question that I can answer? Did I cover it? Did I do okay?
No, listen, I used to see it every, the shows during the, when before pre-pandemic, I'd see it at the, the retail shows. You'd be at the booth, with all your hangers and other stuff, and we'd say hi and see all of our buds and take our selfies and
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm no Bert, so I've gone out and partied, had fun. A few things I don't remember, but what stays in Vegas stays there.
So let's give a shout out to Reno in Chicago.
Yeah, Reno.
Give a shout out to Dean Dude or Bean Dude.
Yeah, right, on the island.
Long Island. And Brad Boa. What would we do without Brad?
Yeah, Texas.
I think he put us all together.
Yeah.
And who else is there? Back me up here, because if I leave somebody out, I don't want to get hit over the head later. I think that was it.
Yeah. What's our favorite restaurant to eat in Chicago? The steakhouse.
Gene and Georgetti's.
Yeah, Gene and Georgetti's.
Garbage salad. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, maybe one day, David.
Yeah. Well, Bert forever. I actually started in my advertising days, when I was on display and design ideas. When I started my advertising career, I called this guy. I said, hey, when you used to use the phone and you make appointments and you go in and talk to people. I didn't know what this guy was, so I went in and called him, and he's right by the Empire State Building. Actually, I think he's in there. I forget where your office was, but anyways, in the middle, by 34th Street and Madison Square Garden, in that general area in Manhattan. And I go and meet him, and we just became buds. And that's how business is. You got to have fun. You meet people. You build up relationships. So I've known him for 25, maybe 30 years. I don't know, somewhere in there. And but I know he's an excellent cook. He knows hangers. He knows visual merchandising. And it's an honor to have you on there. And
thank you, dude. I was flattered. I couldn't believe it. I never did this before. I hope I'm doing okay. Oh, 1 or 2 more quick little things, okay? You ready?
Uh-huh.
Every year since 2004, we have been creating hangers, holiday hangers, we call them. And every year is a different theme. I'm not going to go into all of them right now, but I'll show you the last one we made, which was based on what was going on now. You can't really read it. It's very small. But if you look closely, maybe you could see where it says, be kind in 2020.
Oh, nice.
Can you read that?
I could see it. Yeah.
And the B stands for be free. And everything had a B in it, and it was be this or be that or be cool, be good or whatever was. How about last year was be transparent? Okay, you know about transparency.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, one more thing, David. Ready?
I'm ready.
I want to re-thank you. You all excited? Watch this.
Oh, yeah.
This is an article that I wrote for David's Magazine in 2004, entitled "The Right Hanger." He gave me the opportunity to write an article and put it in his magazine. The right hanger can blend fixtures, merchandise into eye-catching style. And primarily, this is where, if you look closely, you can see it on my website. You'll be able to see it on my website if you want to. Here's where Timothy, the director of visual display and store planning for MGM Mirage Retail, says that as part of any overall interior design, attention to detail is critical to achieving the total environment you are trying to accomplish. On perimeter, walls or floor fixtures, in a ready-to-wear or fashion goods presentation, the hanging merchandise will be one of the more dominant features of the interior. So on and so forth. But this is where it all started with MGM. And maybe David, I have a lot to thank you for. He saw this article. No, he didn't see this article. But he's
listen, I take care of my buds. So, I'm
Melissa Smith.
glad we could get you in there editorially. And so talk about the food. You learn about food because we want to get into your laboratory here before we go over our time. So
all right, really quick. Visual display was also part of what food is all about. You bring out food to somebody. If it looks good, it's probably going to taste good. So plating is very important. I'm going to take you upstairs now into my dining room. I put some things aside so I could prepare it really quickly and show you. You folks are going to enjoy this because it is an original Caesar salad recipe with a little bit of spin from me. I'll explain to you what I'm doing as it's happening. And you'll ask where the anchovy is. I'll have an answer for you. And whenever you're ready, Dave, we'll go upstairs.
Okay, so we're gonna take a little pause. I'm gonna fade in, and we'll fade out, and then we're gonna come back into Chef Bert's laboratory. Okay, so we'll see you here in a second. All right, Bert.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Rock and roll.
Later.
Hey there, Commercial Construction Coffee Dog fans! Welcome to Chef Bertorino's Food Laboratory. Say hello, Mr. Chef Bert.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So, Bert, I'm going to give you the floor. What are you going to prepare for us?
All right. There was a fellow, back in the 1950s by the name of Caesar Cardini. He originated the Caesar salad. He was an Italian immigrant. He lived in Mexico. And that's why everybody thinks it's a Mexican recipe, because it started in Mexico. And to a degree, they're right. He owned restaurants in Mexico, and he created this recipe in Mexico. Although the traditional recipes nowadays, as things went by, they add a little, they change it a little. Caesar never liked anchovies in his Caesar salad, even though you see anchovies are a staple for Caesar salad. So what he chose to do in making his salad is he used Lee & Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce has a very small amount of anchovy in it, and therefore there you have the anchovy flavor. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a Caesar salad from scratch with all the ingredients, and I'll give you my take as we go along. Are you ready?
I'm ready. We're ready.
Got it. So here's the deal. When I was a kid, I went to a restaurant in California. I spoke to you about those restaurants before, by the name of Piccadilly. There was a captain there by the name of Basso. I walked in when I was 7 years old with my parents, and I loved the Caesar salad so much that Basso let me cook, not cook, but prepare the Caesar salad tableside. Years ago, they made the Caesar salad tableside. They would take a wooden bowl, like this, a bigger one. They would rub garlic into the side, and they would make the dressing in the bowl, and then they put the lettuce in, and then they toss it, and they put on the cheese. Nowadays, a lot of people that I make the salad for have a little issue with too much garlic. So what I do, as opposed to using all the fresh garlic that you see in most recipes, is I choose to take fresh garlic and I put it in this olive oil and I infuse the flavor. So what that does is it gives you a nice garlic flavor, but when you use the oil in the dressing, which I'm going to make right now, you don't have to eat all that garlic, but you still get the flavor. So here we go. Back in the 1950s, there was no such thing as Dijon mustard here in the United States. There was Coleman's dry mustard, or there was French's yellow mustard, or a yellow mustard. So the traditional recipe that I learned from Piccadilly Restaurant was with yellow mustard. And that is also what Cardini did. He's played with the mustards, and ultimately what has happened now in the last 50 years is so many people are used to a Dijon flavor of some sort in a salad dressing, and you see Dijon mustard as a base mustard in most recipes, is I also now will take a little bit of this Dijon flavor to address the palates of a lot of people, and I'll mix it in with my regular French's mustard. So here we go. I'm going to take, just so you know, all of this I'm going to put together. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm not going to talk to you about quantities because the quantities are in the recipe that is in my blog. You'll be able to see that when you go to it. So here you go. First and foremost, you take some French's mustard. Don't be shy. Whoops. Sorry.
Well, you got to take the tab out there.
Oops.
Happens.
All right, so ready,
right.
Set. Okay. Yellow mustard. A hit of this wonderful new mustard I found. Believe it or not, it's called Seven Farms Dijon mustard. It's organic. I don't care what they say about Bornier, about any other Dijon mustard. This is wonderful. If you can find it, it's a great price too. Trust me. Seven Farms. Take a little bit. Then you take your Worcestershire. Okay? So far, very simple, right?
Yep.
Then you're going to take a squeeze of lemon. Usually I have a strainer, but I managed to cut a piece of lemon. I took out a couple seeds, so I'm not going to be bothered with the strainer. Put the lemon in. You have four ingredients. 2 mustards, lemon, Worcestershire sauce. What you're going to do now is you're going to mix it. Just going to mix it real quick, like that. Okay?
Yep.
See the nice color?
Yeah, it looks good.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the infused oil. You pour it in slowly, and you mix it quickly. And the end result is this right here. You can see how it thickened up. You can see how it thickened up?
Yeah, definitely thicker.
Okay. Now this is it. You're going to take this. You're going to pour it onto the salad. Sandy, come up here and take a look at this real quick. You pour a little bit of dressing on, not a lot. Then you're going to take your spoons. You're going to toss it a little. You're going to put on your, right there, your Parmigiano Reggiano. That's step 2. You're going to toss it a little bit more. You got to toss very carefully, and you got to toss a lot. Make sure everything gets coated evenly. Okay? Very simply put. After you've done that, you put a little bit more cheese on. You don't put your croutons on yet, because if you put your croutons in there while you're doing this, they'll absorb the dressing and they will get soft. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, they get
okay?
soft. Mm-hmm.
Now, the very most important thing here is how you plate it. I'm going to show you what it should look like in the very end. You take your salad. You're going to plate it. All right. You put a little bit more, sorry, I'm going to put a dash more dressing on. Just a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit around the edges. Okay. And then we're going to put croutons on. Here go your croutons. You can make homemade croutons, or you could buy these. These are organic. They're by a company by the name of Rothberry. And then just a little bit more. And that's it, dudes. You're done. Original Caesar Cardini Caesar salad. The anchovies are in there by virtue of your Worcestershire sauce. Now, here's one more important thing. The original recipe calls for egg. I have found that there's a risk for salmonella, so I don't use the egg. If somebody wants the egg, who I'm preparing food for, I'll use the egg, but I'll coddle it first in some hot water. I'll make it really hot. I'll crack it open. I'll separate the white from the yellow, and I'll include that hot, uncooked yellow part in this dressing first, and you'll get the egg in there. It's great if you can do it. If you can find pasteurized eggs, so much the better. Then you can do it all the time. Okay? Oh, one more thing, real quick. Wine. What wine do you pair with it? You pair a Pinot Grigio. In this case, it's one of our favorite wines out east on the North Fork called Puglisi Vineyards. And here's a nice Chardonnay, a very nice Chardonnay from California, as popular and is in some cases, I don't know, ordinary as Chardonnays can be. This is a good one, and you look for a Chardonnay that's not very oaky, and that's the kind of Chardonnay you want for a Caesar salad. Okay, I think that's about it. One little proverb to go, and everybody, mangia bene.
Nice. So I'm friends with Bert on Facebook, so I've seen all sorts of things that he's cooked, from everything from meat to pizza. I saw some awesome blueberry pancakes. I told you needed more bacon the other day on Facebook, which, they were awesome. And I want you to know I actually had a Caesar salad last night. My wife makes it from scratch, little, but, we just, put the regular old dressing on there. But you got to make sure the croutons go in last, because they will get soggy. So, that is a very important point. So everybody out there, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans, if you want to get in touch with Bert, first remember, he's a hanger display guy, been around forever, knows freaking everybody in that sector. And if you're looking to display if you're an apparel brand, or if you're a hotel or whatever it might be, you'd be amazed at what a real good hanger will do for you, just to make your facility look that much nicer. It's a little item, but it makes a big difference, versus just having a wire hanger or plastic hanger. Hangers it's just a nice component. On the food side, if you're interested in, learning more from Bert or getting his blog, because I know he's got plenty of recipes on there. Bert, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, about fixtures, hangers, etc., how would they get in touch with you?
Okay, very easy. It's bfreehangers.com. BFREE hangers, HANGERS.com. Or for the food, it's Phoodrographs and Finds. That's a pretty long one. I'll go over for you real quick. It's PHOOD because it's photos of food. So PHOOD, OGRAPHS and Finds. So it's Phoodrographs and Finds. PHOOD, OGRAPHS AND Finds, FINDS.com.
So
And,
so on the hanger site, you got all sorts of stuff there that people can see, you know, from a display point of view. And then on
absolutely.
the food blog, and on the food blog, you got all sorts of stuff, right? Recipes, pictures of what you built, right? Correct?
Actually, Phoodrographs and Finds is pictures of food that I take from restaurants that I review. I only review restaurants that I think are good and I've enjoyed their food, and I will write nothing negative. I can't write a restaurant is great, you got to go see it. I can only write about the things that I ate in that restaurant so you can appreciate it from that standpoint. It's also destinations. If you go to the website, you'll see there's destinations off the beaten path that we find. For instance, if you go to Italy, you don't follow the route that everybody tells you to follow. You get in your car and you drive up into the mountains and you get lost. That's the way to find new and different things. I guess you could do the same thing here too, which is what we did in Brandywine country. We got lost in Brandywine country. You don't know what we found. It was wonderful. The hangers, the most important thing is visual. And when you go on the website, you look for client gallery. Client gallery is a gallery of photographs that I took of all the hangers that we sold, pictures we took of the hangers in the environment they were sold into, so you can get a good idea what the hangers look like in the environment with the clothing, as opposed to just a picture of a hanger on a catalog, in a catalog. Anybody could do that. So Phoodrographs and Finds, Be Free Hangers, Client Gallery, Be Free Hangers. There's also a PR trending section that Sandy writes. The website would not be as complete without Sandy and her ability to make it what it is. Check out that PR trending section because it gives you reasons for why we come out with the things that we come out with. It's been updated monthly for 8 years already, or 9 years. And all the things that are happening in the world of visual display and hangers and trends, you will see in there. Based on what Sandy reads and what she finds out and what she sees will grab the interest of the reader.
So all the listeners out there on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, like I said, if you're looking for something different, you know, from a visual experience for hangers and so forth, go to Bert's website, shoot him an email, and he'll give you the best suggestions as far as food goes. You know, listen, one of my favorite shows on TV, you know, Guy Fieri's, you know, drivers and, you know, dives and drive-ins. And, you know, here you go. And Bert knows I'm a diner guy because down here we don't have diners. I grew up in the north. So when I go up, he used to yell at me. He's like, we're not going to a diner. I'm like, dude, I can get whatever I want on there. I don't have them down here. I got Waffle House, you know, smatter cover, you know, whatever. So I get the All-Star when I go in there. But, Waffle House is great. Don't get me wrong. But he's like, oh, we're not going to a diner. We're going to go to, you know, so he's taking me all sorts of restaurants and, you know, down Little Italy in over the years. And so, but he knows what he's doing with food. So really appreciate the demo. It was awesome. For those of you who want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at davidc@ccr-mag.com. If you're not a subscriber, up on our toolbar on the homepage, you'll see subscribe. Hit that. You can be added to our mailing list. We send the magazine out to about 125,000 people digitally these days, monthly. If you have any cool projects, send them to me. We're always looking for that stuff. We'll find a place for it either on one of our social media platforms, on the web, maybe even make it in the magazine. You know, we look at everything. You never know what might end up in ink. So send them to us and we'll take a look. So with that said, Bert, thank you so much. I wish I could taste the food. And, you know,
I wish you could too, man.
and when the pandemic goes over, you know, we'll go out and, you know, we'll hit a diner, and then we'll go to one of your gigs. And or shoot, I'll come to the house and you can cook for me. I mean,
Amen.
I'll take the home meal. And for those of you out there, remember, until we find the therapeutic or the vaccine, whatever's going to happen, remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face, make sure your surroundings. The election's 2 weeks away. Thank God, because I'm so sick of looking at all these political commercials. May the best person win. Let's unite afterwards. Let's close 2020 down. 2021 is going to be a great year. I don't care who the president is. Let's just get it done, and let's rock and roll and get rid of this darn bug and get back to our lives. So we can start seeing people back in planes, hotels, trade shows, and all that good stuff. So with that said, Bert, Sandy, thank you so much for inviting us into your home, telling us your story about Henry Hanger, Be Free, and the food demo. And for all you listeners out there on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, really appreciate you finding us on the web. If you want to find this episode, we're on Spotify, Google, and Apple. And I also stream these on our website and our social media platforms as well. So with that said, everybody enjoy the rest of the fall season. You got Halloween coming up. You got Thanksgiving. The holidays are going to be here before you know it. And then boom, New Year's. And then 2021, close the books on 2020. And stay positive. And, you know, we're going to get, you know, there's light definitely at the end of the tunnel. And we're going to get through this together. So, and this was fun. This was very, you know, I feel really good, you know. Just all a great way.
Love, peace, and happiness, dude. Love, peace, and love to the family. Thank you.
Yeah. And dude, way to go, you know? So, Bert, I want you to say goodnight from Long Island. Say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
And I'm going to sign off here from Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody have a great rest of the week. And we'll catch you next time on another episode of Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. We'll catch you soon. Bert, you're the man, dude. And I'll talk to you, man. Thanks. You're the best.
All right.
Right?
Thanks, David. Likewise. Right. Two-way street. Thank you.
See you later, man. Hang in there.